in my opinion, he shouldn't have left in the first place. And then, of course, who else did the SmackDown land there? I know I'm missing.
Well, no, you had the Hart Foundation, Finlay, and Matt Hardy.
Yeah, and then with Matt Hardy, it's exactly, he's a little bit injured, so he's going to be sidelined for a couple of weeks at least to clear up some nagging injuries. And, you can start putting him back with Rey Mysterio. You can certainly put him back with, Jeff Hardy. You can certainly throw him into the mix. It's a good idea that they move Matt Hardy onto SmackDown, which then allows, like, a Jack Swagger to kind of take over his spot. Otherwise,
right. The guys in the chat room are talking about a possible UFC special next week because UFC 100 is coming up. I think it's this weekend. If not this weekend, then next weekend. But talking about bringing back Boone for maybe a 3-hour special where me and you will do the first 2 hours for pro wrestling, and then Boone likes to talk UFC. Boone doesn't like to talk much wrestling. He's not a big fan of wrestling, so. We could maybe bring him back for a third hour next week, and then we would lead you guys into ECW. But Jose will be here from 7 to 9 Eastern time with me to talk pro wrestling, and then Matty Boone, who loves his UFC, could come up here in hour number 3. I will talk to him about that because UFC 100 is a major pay-per-view. So sounds like a plan to me, and I don't think he will have a problem with that next Tuesday night for a third hour where he'll come on from 9 to 10 Eastern time after me and Jose are done next week, depending on your softball game. Last thing, Jose, I know you got to take off here in a minute or two, but headed to ECW are Shelton Benjamin, Goldust, William Regal, and the Bella Twins. What do you think about that?
The Bella Twins, moving from SmackDown to Raw to ECW. The next way out is the door. That's my opinion about those.
Who are the divas over on ECW? You know what I mean? I mean, who are they going to feud with?
Exactly. They'll just probably escort someone else down to ringside, and once the cuts come in, I think them two will end up, unfortunately, kind of getting cut. William Regal. It's a good idea. He kind of takes over the Finlay spot for SmackDown since he went to SmackDown. And Shelton Benjamin, which is probably the biggest catch out of all of them, right there automatically. You can put him against Tommy Dreamer and Christian.
And Shelton Benjamin was the last one.
Yeah, that's what I said, Shelton Benjamin.
Oh, Shelton Benjamin, my bad. Goldust is basically there as a freak show. William Regal, like you said, in the role of Finlay. The strong worker, as far as stiff worker, you know what I mean? I mean, Finlay and Regal have kind of that same old school mentality, if you will. So Shelton Benjamin, I like that idea over on ECW. Goldust, freak show, whatever for Sci-Fi. William Regal and the Bella Twins. I don't know, unless they put the Bella Twins with maybe a tag team, an upcoming tag team or something like that. And not only that, but Alicia Fox. Went over to Monday Night Raw, and what did they do? What do they do with her over on Raw? And what happens to DJ Gabriel as well? You know what I mean? we haven't seen.
I'm sure they'll just excuse me. I'm sure they'll just repackage him, and right. He has that type of bodyguard kind of personality. So it might be smart enough to maybe grow a little beer or something like that, kind of draw in a biker's type of gimmick, but this time. Becomes a bodyguard, maybe a bodyguard of one of the female wrestlers. I think that's probably Kelly's bodyguard or something like that. Give him something to do, but maybe it's
I'll say this. I mean, we've been talking about it throughout the show. Guys like Tony Atlas, Hornswoggle. I mean, there's some guys that are really lost in the shuffle right now, and it really wouldn't surprise me, possibly as early as this week. Just speculation, but it wouldn't surprise me to see a couple releases here coming up in the next few weeks. Jose, I know you got to go, brother. I've got California who's going to come up. I'm going to take his phone call, and I'm going to see you next week, 7 to 9 Eastern time, Tuesday night, man. I appreciate you staying late here, and I know you got a game to go to, so I will let you get on out of here. You tore down the house as always, baby, and I'll see you next week, buddy.
And I appreciate you having me, and guys, enjoy the rest of the show, and talk to you guys next week.
All right, Jose, be good, man. Be good.
All right, take care.
Next Tuesday. Be good, man. All right. So that was Jose. Jose's got to go to a softball game right now. I'm going to take California's call right now, and then I'm going to do plugs and get on out of here. I think I'm going to be able to take California's call. Callie, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, what's happening?
What's up, man?
Yeah, I think two quick, like a comment, I guess, on two questions. One, I think that Shelton Benjamin, people like him and the Gail Kims, I think that maybe WWE is making them kind of wait their turn, per se, to push them. Because I think Shelton should be pushed, because I remember on the Money in the Bank match, he climbed the ladder and he hit the flip. And it doesn't look that high. But when you're climbing the top of that ladder that big and look down, you're saying, whoa. One person who would have jumped over something like that, maybe like a New Jack would have jumped gladly. But, you know, it's me New Jacks around no more.
That was a crazy, crazy spot at WrestleMania. You know, I think the problem with Shelton Benjamin is the mic work. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's got the in-ring skills, but he's a little bit slow on the mic, and part of the reason that he's not pushed, but he's got all the talent in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got great talent. So we'll see what they do over on ECW. You know, they took a bunch of guys off ECW, so maybe this is his time. Where, although it's used, I mean, ECW doesn't draw the highest ratings, and it's used as more of a developmental to build new stars, and then you draft them over Raw and SmackDown or wherever you're going to send them. You know what I mean? But we'll see what they do. I think Shelton Benjamin. I think he got lost in the mix over on SmackDown, and I think he get lost in the mix over on Raw. But I think on ECW, I think he's got the potential to shine. You know what I mean? We'll see what they do tonight with him.
Makes sense. And two more quick questions. The first one is, don't you think Christian should have been maybe thrown on wherever Edge is to have them either feud? I remember on one of the pay-per-views how they was backstage and they seen each other started talking. I think that just maybe...
I remember that. Well, here's the thing. We're eventually going to see Christian and Edge. I mean, that time it's going to come. It's going to come, and it's not going to come right now. You know what I mean? And they drained the ECW last night. They took some of the top talents. I mean, the Hart Foundation and Evan Bourne were 4 guys or 3 guys and 1 girl that were pushed on a weekly basis over on ECW. You know, and I don't know. It'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting. I mean, we're gonna see it eventually. But Christian is their top guy. Christian and Dreamer over there right now are the top guys, and you can't take I mean, I agree with you, man. I think Christian should have gone over SmackDown or Raw. You know what I mean? But I mean, what can we do about it? You know?
Yes. And one more last question. I've seen the SAP and the UFC talk now, or MMA. You know, first off, there wasn't a sellout. I thought it would be a sellout, but it didn't look like a sellout to me. But, you know, I've seen the SAP in the Lashley fight, and, you know, common sense. If you see it, he goes for the knee, kind of like Lesnar. Lesnar might go upper body, but Lashley goes for the legs. And while you over there bending down, and he took you down, and he beat you kind of easily. If you were Dana White, and you said, and I'm pretty sure you did watch the pay-per-view, if you were Dana White.
Let me just say that. Let me just before you ask the question, I'm glad that you saw that pay-per-view. That was some of the worst production, camera shots. The announcers were brutal. The guy that did there was a boxing announcer. They call him the Colonel. That old boxing guy that was doing. Oh my God, it was horrible. The only guy on there